Hi, it's Dwyer. Wealthspinning.com, keeping it free. .blogspot.com. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Let's talk economics, let's talk sports, let's talk Magic Johnson and Tom Brady. In the 1980s, the NBA had a salary cap. And Magic Johnson, of course, gave some money back to the team so the team could sign additional talent. Right now, we have in the NFL Tom Brady getting praised decades later for doing the same thing. Brady signed an extension. They claim it's below market. He supposedly is giving money back to the team so the team can sign additional guys. The media narrative is that he has sacrificed some money for the good of the team. People need to understand that that's not true. If anything, Tom Brady, like LeBron James before him, who supposedly signed a less than max deal with the Miami Heat so that the Heat could have Chris Bosh and, of course, keep Dwayne Wade. Just like LeBron James, people need to understand that Tom Brady made money off the deal. In fact, it's good business for Tom Brady, LeBron James, and Magic Johnson. Right? Understand, there are two different kinds of players. They're the players who make their money from the team in the form of salary. Right? There are those players. But then you have the Tom Brady's, LeBron's, and Magic Johnson's. These guys make a lot of their money off the field with endorsements, right? In fact, for many of these guys, the endorsement money dwarfs their salaries. Now, you only get the endorsement money, the big endorsement money, if your team is doing great things on the field, right? Why do we like Tom Brady? It's because he's a winner. Why do we like LeBron James? Why did we like Magic Johnson? It's because all three of these guys have delivered at least one championship. In the case of Magic and Tom Brady, it's multiple championships, right? So Tom Brady literally gets paid for all of those championships when an advertiser hires Brady as a corporate pitchman. So when you see Tom Brady and he's actually selling you computers or cell phones or what have you, the reason why that computer manufacturer or cell phone manufacturer hired Tom is because of his excellence on the field. Tom has an economic incentive to invest in that excellence, right? If he's looking around and he sees that his offensive line needs help, if he sees that his defense, most notably his secondary, needs help, if he's looking around and he reaches the conclusion that he could use another wide receiver, or even that the team needs current players who have the contractual freedom to leave, right? Wes Walker, for example. If Tom Brady says, hey, I don't want Wes leaving, I want this team to be able to pay Wes, then it's in Tom Brady's best interest to actually give back some of his salary, right? Because understand, the more the team wins, the more Tom Brady makes off the field. So the give back is actually an investment toward his off-the-field earnings. So it is with LeBron James. So it is with Magic Johnson. All of these guys get extra money, extra commercials, higher profile, higher appearance fees, right? More exclusivity in the marketplace if they're on championship level teams. So we should not confuse a Tom Brady with a Joe Flacco. right? Joe Flacco gets his money on the field, not off the field. Joe Flacco should get paid his market price on the field. Lord knows football is a dangerous sport. But understand, different rules apply to Tom Brady because we now suddenly have to include his off-the-field revenue. If Tom Brady wants to maximize his total revenue, and that includes his off-the-field revenue, then he needs to invest in his team to make sure that his team plays at a level that will capture public imagination. Right? Tom Brady is going to make big money off the field as long as his team delivers. He knows it. I believe we're headed for a day economically, and it's good economics for these off-the-field guys to give back some of their salary. I believe we're headed for a day where a LeBron James or a Tom Brady realizes that they're getting paid so much off the court or off the field that they might even be willing to accept a veteran's minimum contract to play on a team with a chance. Now, I know many of you are saying that's preposterous. Let me ask you, hasn't it already happened? Did you see Shaquille O'Neal's contract when he was with the Boston Celtics? Shaq signed on with the Celtics for something like $1 million a year. Why? Because Shaq understood that if the Boston Celtics did well, he was going to make far in excess of whatever he gave up off the field. Right? He understood the risk reward. Had he picked up another ring with the Boston Celtics, we'd be talking about it. We'd have a whole other chapter to the Shaq body of work. Right? So, let's not get too carried away with this Tom Brady is playing for less than market. That's an illusion. By giving up some of his on-the-field salary, Tom Brady has just greatly increased his chances of making much more than that off the field. Finally, let me just point out too, that don't be fooled when it comes to football contracts. A dollar is not a dollar. Many of these contracts, in fact, the vast majority of them, are unguaranteed. So, we're talking about Tom Brady giving up dollars. You know, Tom Brady gave up some unguaranteed salary dollars in exchange for guaranteed money. Right? So if Tom Brady finds himself in the position that Peyton Manning was just a year ago, superstar, elite player, older, gets injured, has some nerve problems, can't even throw a ball deep, his team and community that loves him cuts him so they can get a hot shot draft pick. Right? If Tom Brady finds himself in that position, you know what? He'll know something Peyton Manning didn't know a year ago. And that's that he has job security and that he's going to get paid. Right? So, great deal for Tom. The only question I have is why aren't more players following this example? Right? If instead of $20 million a year, I agree to accept, $14 million a year. If by giving back that $6, my team actually captures the public imagination, is again in the AFC Championship Series, and I'm getting 15, 20, 25 million extra dollars off the field. And keep in mind, some of that money is going to come from sustained excellence over time. In other words, I'll literally be reaping additional dividends from Super Bowl wins that I got early in my career. Why wouldn't I make that move? I'll tell you what, Tom Brady just made himself a lot of money while giving all of us the illusion that he was sacrificing money. Thanks for watching.